Okay, in today's video about XRP, I want to check out this part of the price action right in here, and I want to tell you why I think soon we are going to be able to say, you know what, the next target is actually setting an all-time high and taking the highest high around $3.5, which means we may have soon about 100 to maybe even 200% move on the upside. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about XRP, we were, if I just do this, excuse me, somewhere around these areas. Now, at the same time, I also made a short video and talked to you about why I think this structure is extremely bullish. But just in case that you haven't watched that video, let me give you a quick summary of what was in my mind back in here. So first, this move down right in here looks extremely slow and weak. And if you have any doubts about that, well, okay, let's just compare this move down starting from here to about this point. As you can see, this happened in about 105 candlesticks. Now, what happened in here in about 100 candlesticks? As you can see, from this area, about 60 cents, we went all the way up to about $1.3. In other words, we had about nearly 100% move on the upside. So to me, this meant that this move down right in here is not actually quite strong, it's very slow, which is a very important characteristic of a correction structure. And that is exactly why I said, you know what, in XRP soon, after some more consolidating, I'm expecting another big move on the upside. This was the main reason. Did we have some other reasons to be able to be bullish in here? Absolutely. You see, in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, we talked about this region so many times. This was a very important resistance from weekly and daily time frame at the same time. And I said, look, in this move on the upside, we managed to get back above this very strong resistance, and followed by that, if we do some consolidating above this region, meaning we have some pullbacks in here, then okay, this is a very classic bullish setup, which suggests that the next move is going to be on the upside in order to at least take the highest side in here around $1.3 for the first target. And at that point, we can say, you know what, this strong resistance is broken, which is going to be a fantastic sign that suggests our bull run in XRP is going to continue for quite some time. So these were the two main reasons that in the previous video we talked about, and based on them, we said we're gonna have at least another move up. Now, what about this move right in here? Can we say it's actually over and it's now, for example, time to get a move on the downside? First, I want to be very clear. In my opinion, there is an extremely limited chance that in XRP we're gonna get some sort of a deep move down. No, I think this is not going to be in play. And sure, we may have some consolidations in here, but nothing too serious. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Let's start counting some waves starting from the lowest low all the way down here. Now, before we do that, for the new viewers, because it seems like that every single time that I make new videos, I'm getting a bunch of new viewers, I should tell you that in my analysis, I use a lot of Elliott waves. And if you want to argue, for example, in terms of Elliott waves, we're gonna have our final bottom somewhere around this area. Maybe this is like a very important support. Then okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low in here, a 5-wave impulsive structure on the upside, something like this. Now, this specific case is a normal 5-wave. The rules for it are, we shouldn't have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave. And for subwaves, you know it, if you are a regular viewer, we need to have 5-wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's just draw all the waves. There we go. And for wave 2 and 4, for our corrections, we can have different scenarios, doesn't really matter. Let's say WXY into 4 and an ABC structure into wave 2. Now, here's a very quick top tip for you. Usually for our wave 4, we're not going to get that much of a deep move down, and a very likely pattern for it is going to be, if you are a regular viewer, you know it, an A, B, C, D, E, which in terms of Elliott waves, we call it a triangular structure. Remember this one, we are going to use it in our analysis. Now let's go on the live chart and count some waves. So in this area, I am, believe it or not, still struggling to find a decent 5-wave up in here. And the only bullish scenario that I can think of is this. This is from this point, a wave 1, and then from here to all the way down here, we are having a correction for wave 2, probably in form of an A, B, C running flat. And then this is a move up into our wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. After this 5-wave up, we are having a correction down, which I think it's actually in form of an A, B, C zigzag, followed by that. From here to about this high, we can have so many different scenarios, but I think the most likely one is going to be this. From this point, this is 1, 2, and then maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave up into wave 3, and then correction for 4, and this is another move on the upside into wave 5. And in this area, what is the likely pattern? You probably can guess it by now. I'm thinking this is actually in form of an A, B, C, D, E. Now, here is the situation. On a higher degree, I believe there is a very high chance that in XRP, we are having a 1, 2, big move up into wave 3, and this triangle is into most likely our wave 4, and this is probably our last leg on the upside, again just for like very short term, meaning in the next couple of days into this wave 5. Now, can we say this final move is actually over or not? Well, let's zoom in more and see what is going on, because in here we can have different possibilities. Let's go on 15-minute chart. So here's the deal. I can actually tell you, look, from this point, we are having a wave 1, correction for wave 2, probably to about this point. Again, it's probably going to be some sort of a flat structure, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave up into wave 3. Maybe this is an A, B, C, D, E, a correction for 4, and this is our final move up into wave 5. And basically, this means that this set of 5 waves on the upside is actually over. Now, what is the alternative scenario that we can have in this area? Well, in that case, I think we may actually have an ABC expanded flat in this region, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this side, and then we are going to have another move down into our C leg, and in here we are going to take the low of our A leg. And for the sub waves, we can have ABC down into A. Let's change the colors to white. There we go. ABC, or maybe a WXY, some sort of a correction up into B. And for a C leg, we must have a 5-wave impulsive structure, something like this. Let's go on the live chart and count some waves. So we can say, look, maybe the end of our wave 4 is going to be right around this area, and then we are going to have another move up into wave 5. And if you go on some lower time frames, I have actually checked the structure. We do have an ABC down here, and followed by that, this can be from this point an ABC on the upside, and then we may have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave down in order to complete the sub waves for, on a higher degree, an ABC expanded flat, which suggests after this move is over, we can have another move on the upside. But does this thing actually matter? Well, in my opinion, not a whole lot. Why is that? Because I think soon we need to have some sort of a correction structure in XRP's price chart to come in order to gather the power for the next magnificent move on the upside, which I do believe that in it we are going to set an all-time high and take the highest high about, let's say, I think it was $3.5. Now, why do I believe soon we are going to get a correction structure? Well, that comes down to, I'm sure you know it by now, classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances. And in terms of classic TA, there is a very important resistance area in this region between, let's say, 1.7 to about $2 right in here. Now, as you can see, if I just zoom in more and do this, there we go. In this candle right in here, we didn't actually manage to reach to about this area. That's why I'm open for XRP to have maybe another move on the upside. And then if we're going to act very normally, I'm expecting for the first time that we touch this region to get some sort of a reaction, hence the correction structure coming in here. And then we can say, you know what, the next time we are going to go above this region, do a pullback, and then a continuation of the move up in order to take this high, meaning we are going to get a break of this region. Now, the question is, why does this area matter so much? Well, because above it, we're not actually having a whole lot of strong resistances. And chances are, if we get, and let's just rephrase that, when we get a break of this region, the next target is definitely going to be setting all-time high and going probably much more beyond that. And you might think, well, okay, why XRP should do something like this? Well, there is no certainty in any market and we cannot say anything for sure, but the reason for that, in my opinion, comes down to once more Elliott waves, this time on some higher degree. You see, we said, okay, this is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. Before this 5 wave up, we are having a correction structure, and here's the trick. This is also another 5 wave on the upside. So basically, we are having in this area a 1, 2, huge and a very strong move up into wave 3, which is actually a very important characteristic of it and makes sense for XRP to do some sort of a consolidation pattern in here. However, again, not that deep into this wave 4, and after it's over, well, okay, what are we going to have? As you can see, another big move up into wave 5, which I believe in it. Again, once more, we are going to go up and set an all-time high, and we may not even stop there. So let's have a quick conclusion and wrap up today's video about Ripple. In my opinion, in XRP, we are looking extremely bullish. And overall, in the next couple of months, I just do not believe that our move up is over. And I think there's a very high chance that this new return here is actually just the beginning of it. Now, because this move up is quite strong, makes sense for us to do some sort of consolidating under this very important resistance area. And thereafter it, I'm expecting XRP to break this region. And if we do it, well, okay, because above it, we're not having a whole lot of strong resistances, you can definitely bet that the next target is setting an all-time high. And hopefully from there, we are going to see some more strong fireworks. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in XRP's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.